Chapter 5. Garston Infant School. I Get Lost.
We moved from Oldham to Garston, Watford when I was 5 years old. This was in 1954, and my mum took me to my first day at school,
Which was in Garston, Watford.
I was in the second year of the infants. My mum had arranged for me to walk home with a girl called Vivian, who apparently lived in Coates Way, and that was where we lived. It was about 2 miles from home. Not that I knew my address, because I didn't. All I knew was that we had moved to a place called Garston, so I assumed we lived at Garston Road. When it came to walking home, I had to follow Vivian, but she took me by a way that I never knew before, a completely different way, and across a park to what was the other side of Coates Way. She left me there, and I had no idea where I was, as I didn't recognise anywhere at all. Feeling uneasy about this, I realised I was lost. So I made my way back towards the school across Garston Park and began to ask people where was Garston Road. There was no such place, but I insisted I lived in Garston Road. A man with a red dormobile offered to take me back to school to find out where I lived, so off we went. The school teacher said I lived at Coates Way, where Vivian had taken me to.
I don't live there. I can't recognise it. I live at Garston Road.
I insisted in my northern accent I lived at Garston Road, but the German teacher contradicted me and said I lived at Coates Way. The man took me back to Coates Way, but I could not recognise where I lived. He drove from one end to the other. It was quite a long way, with a council estate on one side and private houses on the other end. This was where I lived, 149 Coates Way. I saw my mum in the front garden, so I arrived home after being lost on my first day at school. So the moral of the story is to learn and remember your home address, even at a young age, and I'm sure this applies to older people too.
This is just one of the many true stories told in David's book, some of which will be of interest for people of all ages, especially to those that know David. Available from amazon.co.uk, amazon.com, and also ACX Audio. For further information, view the URL links accessed at the bottom of this video.